Everybody, it's Dan from Solutions for the Firearm Industry. Welcome back to episode 14. We're going to talk about the no middle name fiasco that the ATF has created for us dealers. So we'll talk you through what it looks like, what's going on, some responses from some legislators, as well as how it can resolve and fix it. First, though, if you like what we're doing, hit that like and share button on Spotify, on iHeart, on whatever platform you're on, YouTube, whatever. And then tell somebody else about it. And if you got a chance and you really like what we're doing, leave us that 5-star review so we can get more reach and more people can hear about what's going on. With that, we're gonna get right into the episode here. I got eForms up, but what we're talking about is the ATF recently has begun denying applications that have an acronym in the middle name on some of the forms. So November, Mike, November, no middle name, or none, or some other pieces and variations. I've seen all kinds of them from the network. This is a response that we sent up to our legislators saying that this is effectively BS on the fact that the follow-on form, the 4473, clearly instructs us how to fill out an individual with no middle name, but the Form 4 does not have the information. Therefore, we assume that no middle name was acceptable, but apparently that complicates the ATF's databases and processes, and therefore they began rejecting and denying forms early September. So on the screen here, this is the formal response from the Senate Action Inquiry. This is from Senator Tammy Baldwin's office, who shockingly was the first one to get back to me, stunned, seeing as she has a D behind her name. But all in all, either way, I don't care who puts some pressure on the ATF, we're doing it. So I sent kind of a form letter to the Cerberus network saying, hey, call for action and send this stuff in. This is kind of BS that they decided to change policy on a Saturday, Sunday, and come Monday, a bunch of denial started to happen, effectively that it wasn't good enough, even though there is plenty of precedent that says we have a lot of these already approved. So this is the application. This was the response. The initial response was pound sand and go back in. And then as some of the pressure mounted, I got a secondary follow-up response, which is the last paragraph, which helps out here. You know, if an application was disapproved due to the inaccurate middle name, applicant must resubmit a new application, and they will be put back in a line. So that was a huge win against this kind of BS piece, but that's what happened. So what does this look like, right? Let me hide that. So on a form, I'm inside a draft piece here. I'm going to go to transferee, and what they're referring to is we had some individuals that were doing this. November, Mike, November for no middle name, or none on the middle name. And this was going through and getting pushed in, and then it was coming through as John N. Smith as a middle name initial. And then ATF didn't like that because their system was not complicated enough to, or sufficient enough to validate it going forward. So what they want is they don't want this. This is bad. They want it left blank. So then when you go to responsible person train stop here and edit it, it actually will autofill and select this no middle name dropdown. That's what they want to see it as. So on the individual submit and each responsible person, this is what it has to look like. And then on the trust side of stuff, we have to make sure that it doesn't look like this. So draw your attention to 3A, where it says John, no middle name, Smith, with 2 H's, testing some stuff, whatever. On the responsible person questionnaire for a trust, they also do not want this. So this would have to get edited and updated and remade. That would just show John Smith and no annotation or no designation that the middle name is not there, which I feel could be an oversight, but that's how they want to see it because their system is not complex enough to handle it. So a couple spots you got to make sure this is done. On the transferee train stop inside of eForms, it's got to show the appropriate no middle name or middle initial or full middle name, depending on what it is. On the 5320.23, otherwise known as a responsible person questionnaire, RPQ, which I have up on the screen right here, it needs to show 3A is incorrect on, as I'm showing it right here. It needs to be just John Smith. The no middle name needs to be removed, or else that will then not match what is on the Form 4 application and the transferee section, and that will be denied. If you did get one of these denials, what the ATF is looking for is a notification of the new permit or form number, and then referencing it back to the old permit and form number. So what I recommend is that you take the denial email, forward that back to the appropriate email box, and then say old form number, new form number, please put back in line. And we're seeing success within a couple days on those resubmits. So as long as you do it fairly promptly, that the background check is still valid. So it's a pain in the ass. It's frustrating. It's the ATF doing ATF things and making up their own rules because the forms aren't clear enough. So we therefore defaulted to the 4473, which does clearly say that you should use no middle name, or November Mike November as the acronym for no middle name, to annotate that it wasn't just forgotten. But that is not what the ATF wants to see, and therefore we have to do it how they want it done here. So it's frustrating, it's irritating, it's a pain in the ass, but that's what it is. All right, that's pretty much it for this episode and the rant that I have on this. Talk through the no middle name piece if you get a denial, how to fix it, how to resolve it, and what's going on with that, and where to look for it in there. Oh, last caveat. On the EFT, the FBI actually requires no middle name in there. So if your customer does not have a middle name, then the EFT must also have it. So if you're a Cerberus user on version 1.6.14, this fully handles the everything that it's supposed to do. Specifically, the trust was the piece that fixed there on the RPQs. If you're before version 1.6.14, the RPQs will look like this. This is actually is from testing of the conversion from 13 to 14. So you have to edit or update the RPQ if you are on less than 1.6.14. 1.6.14 and Cerberus Live Scan handles all this for you and does the logic for it. And if the ATF wants to know how to do it, I'm happy to consult at a nominal hourly rate to help them fix their eForms website. So with that, wrapping up, again, if you like what we're doing, hit that like, hit that share. If you really like what we're doing, give us a 5-star review and tell us what you like about it and or what topics you want to see. If you got a question, send it in to info@petersonfarmsusa.com, and we can probably work it into the next podcast. But you can get us on all your favorite stations, Amazon Music, iHeart, iTunes, Spotify, and anything else that has kind of an RSS feed, but predominantly on Spotify and YouTube. Our website, Peterson Farms, plural, USA.com, is where you can find out more about us. Flagship product is Cerberus Live Scan. That is the fingerprinting solution for the firearms industry. Digital EFTs, digital prints, PDFs, FT258, some client management. And if you're in Oregon FFL, we can also do the Form 88 to do the thumbprints for your 4473s. New feature that we added a little bit ago. And then the other product that we have is called Merlin, what my kids refer to as the kayak of the gun industry. So pulls in a ton of feeds, and we are happy to announce we have a couple more feeds in here. Right now we have 17 working, 2 more pending. FFL Liquidators, which is an up and coming distributor, as well as Tactical Gear is in there countrywide. We're working on the data feed to help get with them. Those FFL Liquidators and MGE and Tactical Gear makes almost 20 that we'll be pulling from here very shortly. So very exciting. That's the most that I'm aware of out there. We have the most data feeds that we're pulling into. So Merlin is a really powerful tool. It's a monthly subscription, discounted for live scan guys. And if you're not a live scan guy, it's a pretty fair price and also available for your entire shop. So with that, I'm Dan. This is Solutions from the Firearm Industry. Happy that you joined us, and we'll talk to you next time.